Hey there and welcome back to another episode of Good Faith Gaming. I'm your host Ben, and today I am talking about Game of the Century. Last week, GameScoop did an episode where they talked about their Game of the Century, and I thought that was a really smart idea for an episode of my show. And so I went and put my own list together of what I would consider games that should be in the conversation for Game of the Century. We are currently through a quarter of the 21st century. And so I thought it would be a good time to look back on the past 25 years and pick out some of the games that we might talk about in another 75 years that will stand up to scrutiny and to the test of time as the greatest games of this century. This list isn't comprehensive. This is my own personal taste. And so I will have a couple of honorable mentions in the front. These are games that I believe others would argue deserve to be on this list, but I don't have a lot of experience, or I just didn't think that they quite stand up to the other games on this list. And so, honorable mentions, the first one will be Grand Theft Auto 3. This will include the trilogy of the GTA 3 games. I haven't really ever played them. I can't put them on my own personal list, but I know for a lot of people, they love these games, and I know that they were important for the industry in a lot of ways, so I'd be remiss not to bring them up. The next game on my honorable mentions is BioShock. Again, I did play this game back in the day. I just didn't think it was as good as some other people might say it is. It was a fine game, but it didn't blow me away or nothing. After that, we got Half-Life 2. This game I did love, but there's just a lot of competition, and so it didn't quite make the cut. After that, we have World of Warcraft. This game revolutionized MMOs, and it's still around today, so it's a very important game to a lot of people, but I've never played it. Next, we have Bloodborne. This is a lot of people's favorite game of all time. I haven't played it. I'm waiting for a PS5 remake of it because there's rumors that it's coming, but it just never does. So I haven't played that. Up next, we have Halo 2. I love this game when it came out, but there's another Halo game on my list, so I didn't want to have two of them. After that, we got Minecraft. Again, a breakthrough game, a game that a lot of people still play today. It's bigger than ever, but it's just not on my personal list. All right, and so without further ado, I will get started on my Game of the Century watch list. All right, first game on this list is Overwatch. This is a multiplayer game, what came out on PS4 and Xbox One. I played it for several hundred hours when it came out. It was my game of the year. It came out, I believe, 2016. So it's one of my all-time favorite games, and it deserves a spot on the list. After that, we got Stardew Valley. This is a cozy farming sim game that came out in 2016. It revolutionized the industry in a lot of ways. Mainly, this game was made by one person, and it became uber successful to where he just spends all his time updating this game even to this day. It wasn't the first cozy game. That genre goes back to the 90s. However, it rebirthed the cozy game, and now it's a huge sector of the industry today. Okay, next we got Resident Evil 4. This was a GameCube exclusive when it came out in the 2010s. And I remember me and my buddy Jamie, one of us was always playing this game. It revolutionized the Resident Evil series, because before all the games, they had the pre-rendered backgrounds and tank controls. And this game took it in a more action-heavy way. And so I commend Capcom for taking a risk on this game, and it really paid off. Next on my list is Batman Arkham Asylum. This was a 3D Metroidvania. It came out at a time when licensed games did not have a good reputation. You might get a good one every once in a while. Arkham Asylum was really the first superhero game, but Arkham Asylum was a big milestone for superhero games, that they took it from mostly bad to sometimes good to one of the best games ever made. Next, we have Red Dead Redemption 2. This is a 2018 game from Rockstar where you play as a cowboy. And this game gets a lot of points for just how alive its world is. Even today, this game is unrivaled. A lot of people just live in this world. You can hunt, you can do anything a cowboy did. And people still will post videos of like all the little details that this game had going on 10 years now. So really awesome game. Going back to licensed games for a sec, this is a licensed game that I actually talked about last week, but it belongs to my list, and that is Knights of the Old Republic, the Star Wars game. And this game was, I would argue this game broke CRPGs into the mainstream. It was one of the best Star Wars stories of all time. It doesn't exactly hold up today, but I do think that it deserves a spot on this list for how awesome it was when it came out. And I do take that into consideration how the game was when it came out, not just how it holds up today. The next game is what I would argue is the best JRPG of the 21st century, and that is Persona 5. It did not revolutionize JRPGs, but it refined them in such a way that it felt fresh, from the battle system to the menu to the music. Everything in this game comes together to create, honestly, like an unmissable experience that even non-JRPG people should play. The next game on my list is a Soulsborne game, a genre that I usually don't like because of the difficulty, but this one got its claws in me and has one of the best open worlds I've ever experienced, and that is Elden Ring. This game came out 2022, I want to say, and it blew me away. This was like the Zelda game I always wanted from my childhood. There's so many secrets, so many different ways to play, the brutal difficulty. It's a beautiful game and belongs on this list. The next game is going back to the Halo series, and it's the reason Halo 2 is not on this list, and that is Halo 3. I put countless hours into this game, playing it online, playing through the campaign co-op with my friends. Just the hype for this game when it came out was unreal, and it actually lived up to the hype, something that doesn't always happen. So Halo 3, one of my favorite games of all time, and it definitely belongs on this list. This next game came out in 2023, and it is my second favorite Zelda game of all time, and that is The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. This is another game that had a ton of hype for me. I could not contain my excitement. I got the collector's edition of it, but just the freedom and the creativity and the technical mastery all showcased in this game, in the story, it all came together and blew me away in a way that, like, it was probably since Halo 3 where a game that hyped lived up to expectations, and it's currently my third favorite game of all time. I love that game. And going to my first favorite game of all time, that would be The Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt. And this game absolutely belongs on the Game of the Century list. It probably so far is the game of the century, in my opinion. Y'all have heard me wax poetic about this game in the past. The story, the vibe, the environment, the characters, the combat, just like the craftsmanship, the music, the Gwent, like everything in this game is an A+. It all comes together in this package that is unassuming at first. You know, I bounced off Witcher 3 a couple of times. Once it gets its hooks into you around the Bloody Baron storyline and you get what this game is trying to do, it becomes unforgettable. All right, and the last game is a game that I have not completed yet. I'm currently still playing, and that is Baldur's Gate 3. And this game it's the biggest CRPG since KOTOR, and I think people will be playing this game for decades to come, and it easily belongs on this list. Again, the craftsmanship, the attention to detail, the story, the amount of options in this game, it's unparalleled in any video game ever. And so yeah, that's my list of Game of the Century. Did I leave anything off? Are there games that you would like to see included? Please comment down in the description. And with that, I bid thee adieu.